All right, guys, it's Copper Cutlass. You could probably hear the Pontiac running in the background. I just pulled it out and letting it run. Every time I pull it out, I let it get up to temperature, just so it kind of be a little warm. It's going to be warm the next couple of days, so it's probably going to be sitting outside. But we're going to be out here a lot this week because it's supposed to be warm, and we're going to make the absolute best of it. So as you guys can see, we have our 8-point roll bar, commonly generically called a roll cage. Now this bar is from Rhodes race cars, and it's all pre-bent, the main bar. This is a very standard kit. I can already tell you that yes, my floor isn't level, but you could see a slight difference between this tube and that tube on the bend. The height, you can disregard that because the floor is uneven, but that's not going to throw off those angles. But it's not a big deal. Again, not a huge overall deal. I'll actually, once I put it in the car, I will check it and see, because a couple of things that we have to do is we have to measure and cut and trim, and there has to be placement between your head and the bar. So they want your helmet to be within 3 inches here, and they want your helmet to be no more than 6 inches from here and from here. So I do have to put the seat back in the car. I'm kind of glad that I didn't start cutting on the rear tray area, because I don't know exactly how I am going to do the tubes. So what I'm going to end up doing for that, I think I have some conduit, and that is going to be sacrificial. So to make it easy for myself, much like when you do mock-up work or anything like, how can I explain this? Like, you can use round rod for profiling. I'm going to be using the conduit for length and where we're going to kind of want to put our down tube. Now, geometry tells me that I should put the down tube somewhere at the highest point of the frame, which would kind of be up in this arc here, because then you get to kind of triangulate the whole frame with the roll bar kit. And to be honest with you, if you put the roll bar here, you eliminate the possibility of the frame accordioning it, if you will, underneath it, and it will also reinforce this area, which we've already fixed, because the down tube is going to come in on this angle and this, and then as we know, we will have a nice triangulated area, and the area behind here really is not that important. But I'm trying to put the down tube somewhere around the spring perch area to stiffen that area up, and that is my goal. But again, I have to kind of ultimately, the first thing that I have to do is locate the main hoop. I'm about 5'8", 5'9", and we have to position it to take into consideration my seat. So my seat has to go back in for that. But for now, what I'm going to be focusing on is cleaning the frames here and there, getting my plates located, and then maybe welded in place for the tubes. There's only so much area we can work with here, so I do have a rough area of where I need to put the bar. And again, it's something that my wife might have to help me with, but we got a little bit of welding to do here. We got some cleaning to do here. I'm not in the biggest rush to weld the plates, but I think once we get everything sorted out, it should move fairly fast. Again, I still kind of got this sickness lingering, but it's not that bad. So, good God. This is a nice light. I just stepped on it. It's chargeable. I got an awesome deal on it from Mac Tools, and it's magnetic. It also has hooks. I recommend it to anybody. That's actually why I have it out. I just bet my charge cord. Cool. I just kind of found this and I needed it, but whatever. So here I've roughly drawn, this is the main hoop, your crossbar. This is what makes it the 8-point. You don't necessarily need these. You can weld these to the floor. We're going to go ahead and weld them to the floor. We're not going to do a crossbar underneath. And then So you want your head somewhere here, 3 inches down, 6 inches in. You want this between your elbow and your shoulder. So again, we have to figure that out. That's not going to be a big deal, but we have to figure out where we want these down tubes to fall. And the longer the tube, the weaker it's going to be. The shorter it is, the stiffer it's going to be, which is kind of what we're after. And I think that area that we want to put it in is going to be ideal for what we want to do. And since we don't have seats in it and we're not planning on putting seats on it, I think that's going to be our best case scenario. If anybody out there thinks any different or has a different experience, please chime in. I'm just going off of basic geometry principles of building. Obviously, and following the rules, of course, of what everybody kind of follows the NHRA rules as a standard, and they've kind of been picked up as the standard across the board. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little update. Again, big thank you to JJ, Twin J Racing. Go follow his channel for picking this up for me. We got our down tubes there. We got a shorter set, long set. And then we got a crossbar and our down tubes. There's 2 in there. They're all wrapped up together. This is a cool little, I was down at the Farm and Fleet, and this is a level degree that you can lock, and it's magnetic. This tool is going to come really in handy for figuring things out, especially on our angles. You can level to any angle up to 360 degrees. So it's kind of neat. This is going to help. I do have my angle gauge. I have 2 angle gauges. I have an old school one and a magnetic. But I know I talked to you guys about a tube profiler contour gauge. Well, it doesn't make sense to me to spend $60 on one when I bought this bundle of flags at the Farm and Fleet for $9 and a roll of masking tape for $6. For something that we're going to use only once, this is going to be it. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to cut these in half around here. And first I'm going to cut off the flag ends, and then I'm going to cut the rest in half, wrap them all around the tube. And so essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap them around the tube, push them down, and masking tape is flexible. So once they flex into the position that I need them to meet the floor, I will retape, pull it up on the tube, mark it with a Sharpie, and that's going to be what we need to match. So not that bad of a deal altogether. It will work. Some guys have used welding rod, you name it. Those are like $9, and the masking tape, you don't even need to use masking tape. You probably use electrical tape, whatever you got lying around, duct tape. It just has to hold the contour of the tube, and then you pull it up and mark it, and then you cut it, remove it, and then you reuse it for your next tube to match wherever it sits. So there you guys go. We do have a little bit of moving stuff. So I do got a little bit of cleaning up. I am warming up the garage. We just had a cold snap last week. I got the heater running, as you could probably hear it. But we're going to be doing that and just kind of messing around and finishing cleaning up the frame, and maybe tomorrow we'll weld in our base plates for the cage, maybe I'll put something in there. But I think my base plates are going to kind of roughly fall into the area where I know they're going to fall into the area where I got it. It's, we do have 6 inches to work with lengthwise. Height-wise, you want this thing up as high as you want it, no matter what, just because, somebody else might jump in the car. And although the cage, roll bar, whatever, is always built to suit the driver, you put somebody taller in there and you're going to blow it. You can't lower the seat. Everything's fixed. So on that end, it is what it is. So I'll let you guys go. Share, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as Copper Cutlass, and go follow JJ. I know he just put the El Taxi video up there, which was really cool. I haven't seen it yet. I have to watch it. I have to catch up on his stuff. So go catch up on his stuff, catch up on my stuff, go watch some things. Share, like, subscribe. We'll see you guys.